All right, welcome to another episode of Who's Your Nerds Podcast with Mikey and the two Chris's. Tim had to work. He can't join us today. He might call in later. Never know with Tim. We're back after a 2-week hiatus. I had surgery 2 weeks ago to take all the metal out of my foot. I'm no longer the bionic man. And we decided to just take another week off to, recharge our batteries. So we're back with a lot of stuff, recharged batteries. Hopefully some good laughs. Special guest Ari the cat and special guest Luna the dog is here. So if you hear barking or sniffing of the mic, it's one of them two. Anyways, I know Chris and I saw Suicide Squad because we saw it in theaters. Did you watch it?
No.
Have you? What?
My time is very limited, and when I choose to decide to watch like a suicide movie, like a Suicide Squad, which has already came out before, I get the gist of the second one, and there's no need to really watch. Yeah, maybe a new director, maybe a new story, but same squad.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
There's only two people from
There's
the
only
original
two people
squad.
from the original, and then that actor got replaced.
Same idea. You got a team of villains that go after and they become heroes. Quotation marks.
Okay, you just knocked down every superhero movie in the history of superhero movies. Oh, you got a superhero, and a bad guy comes up to take over the world. So the superhero has to come and save the world.
Not
But
about
they're
It's the same thing.
superheroes.
It's not about the ending. It's about the journey, and that journey the Suicide Squad took was hilarious.
Well, I did hear
Margot Robbie kills it as Harley Quinn. She really does. She owns that role.
Well,
it is so good.
So does John Cena as Peacemaker.
Yeah, I heard the shark. Who voices? Who does it?
Sylvester Stallone
Yeah,
is the
I
shark.
heard he was the best one though.
Bird. he
John Cena.
killed it
Idris Elba was really good
as Bloodsport.
as Bloodsport. He was better than Will Smith, I think.
Oh,
I really do. I think he
it
did
doesn't
it.
say a lot. What do you?
No, but I think he just,
I like Idris Elba rather than Will Smith, but
The Fresh Prince isn't the same anymore. But should we do spoilers or do we care? I don't know.
I'm kind of I'm not upset. It's just aggravating because people were making fun of the ending and the way the zombies were created with the giant starfish. It looked like Patrick.
How they were in the comic books.
Thank you. But, we got to believe some giant purple guy with stones is going to destroy half the earth. And I mean, it's the same thing. You've got to suspend reality. It's not a James Bond movie. It's not a spy movie. It's a comic book movie.
People have Marvel so far up their butt that they can't
That's
see
the problem. I agree.
Other franchises. I know DC has had a rough start. Man of Steel was good. Justice League was...
Man of Steel was not good.
Batman vs. Superman was bad. The original Justice League before the Snyder Cut was kind of bad. The original Suicide Squad movie was not the best. It was actually, I really liked the original Suicide Squad. I can't lie.
I love the Suicide Squad. I thought the first one. I liked it a lot.
Shazam was great, and
Shazam was really good.
I'm in the minority, I guess, but I thought Aquaman was a really good movie. But
I like Aquaman.
I was not big on Aquaman, but
I don't know. I'm just a fan of Jason Momoa. So
yeah, I've loved him for a while now.
Shazam was really good. I liked Venom.
Venom's DC or Marvel.
I know, but that got trashed too, and I think it's a great movie.
But it just...
I think it's the anti-hero, and that's what Venom is. So
yeah.
I think that was the same thing. But
going back to Suicide Squad,
these are the bad guys.
Yeah,
so
they're the bad guys that got captured by Batman, Superman, whoever it be. And I guess basically the story starts off of we're meeting basically the original crew with some new ones, and they're going to invade an island that has a secret experiment going on, which is the starfish in the end, as you find out. And it's a trap, basically. They get gunned down, basically, spoilers.
It's a trap.
The entire original squad, except for Harley Quinn and Flag, get killed. Right there on the beach. Plus some new ones.
All these new characters that they just kind of...
They killed off half of those new characters they were promoting in the first 15 minutes.
Dude, it's hysterical, though. And the movie's great. I mean, it really keeps you... You're never bored through the movie. You're never bored.
No. And I remember we were sitting there. We were both like, "Oh my god, they did that!"
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
I loved it.
And then you learn they were just a distraction, for the team 2 to come up on the beach, which is the shark guy. I forget his name. Ratcatcher 2 because Ratcatcher 1 is dead. Bloodsport, Peacekeeper, and Polka Dot. Polka Dot Man? Polka Dot Boy? I don't remember. Polka Dot someone. He shoots polka dots.
He shoots polka dots, yeah.
And can I just say, John Cena, no matter what he's in, like the last couple of years, he just steals the show.
Yeah, Polka Dot Man.
John Cena and Idris Elba had a hilarious and great connection in that movie.
So it's still known as King Shark.
King Shark. Okay, I didn't know it was that simple of a name. I thought we were going with the Hawaiian name he had. They were calling him, but King Shark's is that.
I really didn't realize that TDK was Nathan Fillion.
TDK was Nathan Fillion?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Basically, though, they're on the island to stop a experiment, which you find out is the Project Starfish, which is actually a starfish. And the U.S.'s interest in this is they're the ones that were funding the research because there was a coup and the new government was going to release info and use the starfish. So there was
going to be a coup, and the people of the island were going to take back over their government, basically.
Yeah.
And they were going to release that information.
And the U.S. didn't want the information to be out. So that's why they sent the Suicide Squad. And you find that out at the end, and it causes some issues with the team. But there's just the one scene I really just want to talk about is when they're going to save Flag. Flag gets captured. Him and Harley get captured. Harley gets captured by the government forces. Flag gets away from the beach and gets captured by some rebels on the island who are fighting the new government. They take him to his camp, and the other Suicide Squad gets sent to rescue him. Bloodsport and Freedom. What's his name? Freedom Maker, whatever. John Cena's character. They are
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. Jeez, they are the same character pretty much, except one's a mercenary and one's all about freedom and the government. And they're
Second Amendment, hoorah!
Basically, yeah, that's what he is. And they're basically taking turns trying to one up each other, killing everybody.
Sounds like Legolas and
it really was like Legolas and Gimli.
Gimli.
They're taking turns killing each other, and at one point, Peacemaker shoots a guy, doesn't kill him, and Bloodsport's like, "You lost because it was a non-lethal," and he says, "Wrong. It is lethal. It's a compression bullet." And the guy explodes, and Idris Elba was like, "Well, it's not cool to show off or something." And John Cena was like, "It is cool when what you're showing off is totally badass." Idris Elba turns around and was like, "Damn it, that was badass." So basically, they slaughter the entire rebel camp, and when they get to the leader's tent, the Flag and the leader are drinking tea or coffee together, and they're like, "How'd you guys get here? Why did my people not alert me or whatever?" Because they found, oh crap, these are the good people. We didn't see any people. King Shark burps up a guy's... Because King Shark eats
people.
He nom-noms. He burps up a guy's finger, and they're like, oh.
It was a lot of fun.
Killing all the good people, I guess.
There was more rebels, but they killed this camp of rebels.
Yeah, by accident.
I'm going to have to put bring the Fire Stick out here since it has HBO Max, so you can watch it.
It's so good.
It is amazing.
I could probably download it on the... I think the Xfinity box has HBO.
Oh, okay.
You might be able to sign in. I don't know if it does or not because I have it on my TV. So
I just have it on because my TV doesn't have enough room for it now because it's 50 gigs or something like that. I had to put it on the Fire Stick, and I have it on my phone and my tablet. Do you just kick the dog?
I didn't mean to kick the dog. My feet are
just put it on.
janky.
She's a thick girl.
So they showed previews, right? So they showed previews to Dune,
Looks
which
amazing.
I don't give a shit about because that same weekend, Jackass comes out.
He's got a
Oh, yes.
I cannot freaking wait. So while y'all are in there watching Dune, falling asleep, taking a nap, during the Doom movie, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off in the
trailer
Jackass
for
movie.
Jackass. It's so good.
I could not freaking wait for Jackass.
Yeah.
It's what I need right
When
now.
the softball,
classic, yeah.
when the softball pitcher hits Steve-O in the balls.
Is it Jenny Finch?
I think it was.
I think it was Jenny Finch pitching. Yeah,
Oh.
I can't wait.
God.
It's still great because you got all the
Except for
classic Jackass members.
And Ryan
most
Dunn.
of them are in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of
Dunn.
them are in there. They're still old as hell,
Mhm.
and they're still doing all these.
They're still doing all these stunts. I know,
Yeah.
it looks crazy.
They have what's his face? He did the talk show where he made people very uncomfortable. With Hannibal Buress was his.
Oh yeah, yeah, that guy.
Oh my gosh! Hold on, I'm gonna look this
I
up.
should know who it is, but
I don't know who you're talking
he's my
about.
freaking gamer tag picture
I know.
on Xbox.
Jackass Forever is what this is called.
He's so good.
Machine
He's
Gun
so
Kelly?
good in, like awkward. He's so good in awkward.
Eric Andre?
Eric Andre.
Yeah, he's so good in awkward situations. Like he just makes it like it's completely normal.
There's a lot of
Whatever he's
people
doing
in
is
this.
completely normal, even though it's not normal at
Mhm.
all. He's so he's talented.
He's hilarious. Speaking of hilarious, we all watched a documentary that came out. What was it, on Thursday or Wednesday? Untold Malice at the Palace. For those of you who don't know, the Malice at the Palace was a brawl that took place between the '04 Pacers and the Detroit fans, basically.
Just the Palace.
The Palace.
They fought the Palace.
Yeah. What was left of the Palace. And
I don't know. Was it Steven Jackson that said, or it was either Steven Jackson or Ron Artest that said like it was based, or was it even Reggie?
it was
Miller?
Reggie that said all the people from the top were coming down.
Yeah, because
no.
all the people in the good seats leave, so all the drunks up top start
Yeah.
coming down and sitting in the lower levels.
But I think it was Steven Jackson was that caught me. He was like, "There's nobody there to help. There's no security."
Yeah, he was right or die.
So it was
Yeah.
basically like the Pacers team. What was it, 15 or 8 or whatever he said, or 12?
I think he said like 12.
against 3,000.
Yeah,
or
he's right.
whatever.
There was
And
three
I was
cops.
like, yeah.
Yeah, where was security? There was no security around whatsoever. Those people should have never been on the court. Then you got that jackass fan,
The one that
the one that went out on the court. You don't go out on a basketball court.
no.
You don't. I mean, that's like
the
going
same,
in
the same as like jumping over a fence and running onto a football field or
going into
or soccer
a wrestling
field
ring. You get your
or
ass beat.
baseball field.
You ever
That's
see them
the
people
same.
who jump in a wrestling ring? They get their
Yeah.
ass beat.
Yeah.
They really do, which they deserve.
The guy tries to defend himself saying, I got pushed down there. No, you don't want us pushing you down there. And he comes up to Ron Artest, fist clenched.
No, he came to Jermaine.
No,
No,
it
it
was
was Ron Artest.
It was Ron Artest first. Artest is the one that punched him first.
Yeah.
Because he came up to Artest, fist clenched. And Artest swung and took him down.
Is that the guy on when they were on the floor? That
Yeah.
wasn't our test.
Yeah, that was Artest.
No, Artest was up in
No,
the.
it was-
Artest was up in the
After Artest
crowd.
came down.
No, this
I
is
think-
before Ron Artest went up.
No, it was after he came down.
That was
It
that was
wasn't.
Jermaine.
No, Jermaine
was
came
it.
to defend Artest.
No, Jackson went to defend
No.
Artest.
No, Jackson
No,
went up
it
into the
was-
stands.
It was Ron Artest.
No, Artest and Jackson are in the stands.
No.
Somebody was on the floor.
I'm going to play this for you.
You can't play it for me.
Yes, I can.
Hang on, I'm gonna look for the.
It was
file
our
right now.
test on the floor. Me and Mikey. This guy's nuts.
Yeah, because it was on his way to the locker room because he was ready to chill. Like he was ready. To
I was
go
watching that
back.
game live.
So was I.
But it's like, yeah, it's like I remember. I know they were talking about it. How that's basically all they talked about for weeks and months, probably. And I remember. That's the only thing I don't remember watching the game.
Who-
But I just remember everyone saying it was such a negative thing.
Well, who was it? Which pacer was
Right
it
here,
that
watch.
said?
Who's that? Our test. Here comes the guy on the.
Oh, that guy. Okay, I thought you were talking about the other guy.
No,
What other guy?
the guy that threw the bottle.
Oh yeah, he was from the stand. Out. He's the one that started it.
No.
same?
The other guy, the one that Jo took a swing at on the floor.
That's the same guy that came up to our test.
That's the same guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were both right. I don't feel so bad then.
All right.
Is that was the guy that Reggie said if Jo would have connected, it would have killed him?
Yeah.
That's the same guy, right? Okay, yeah.
The best miss of Jo's life.
That's the one I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
But you know what? Looking back on it, why wasn't the Pistons organization held accountable? Because they weren't.
No.
And who was it? Was it Steven Jackson or was it Jermaine that said those people? The thing is with the fans, they don't know that we're friends with Ben Wallace.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just hard. It's just hard basketball. Is all that is.
Sure.
Yeah, they're at it on the floor. Then afterwards, they dap up and go have a beer.
Go have a beer together, right? But the thing was that I noticed, Artest probably should have got a 30-game suspension. The other guys should have probably got 10-game suspensions each. Yeah. Jackson and
it was pretty harsh.
But you shouldn't be. I don't know why he did what he did, but the Piston organization wasn't even held accountable for. I mean, those guys could have been. Somebody could have had. They could have lost their career. I mean, they could have. I mean, they essentially did. But they could have had an eye taken out with all that stuff thrown at them.
Mm-hmm. They were starting to throw chairs.
Yeah. Can you believe they were throwing a chair? Who throws a chair? You know how crazy that is.
I think the Texans did pretty good work of trying to identify it, especially with all the technology back then. It's like not that good. But.
I like what the lead guy says. Like, how much money and time did we waste on this when we could have been using that same money, time, and manpower solving murders or robberies?
Right. But the cop did say, he's like, that guy, when he was talking about Artest, the guy, he says, that guy came up to him with a clenched fist. He has a right to defend himself.
Yeah.
So there's no charges.
And that's why Stern, I will go to my grave believing that Stern used this as the chance to get the Pacers out of the playoffs. The Pacers would have won it that year, hands down. There's no one that could have stopped us.
I didn't realize there was animosity between Jermaine and Artest because he bailed.
Yeah.
He should have never. If he would have stayed with that team,
even with Reggie gone.
Even with Reggie gone, and Reggie was just a supporting role at that point with the team anyway. They could have done something had those guys stayed.
He wasn't even dressed that game, and they blew him out of the water.
Right.
Yeah, and if I remember right, that was the only person they really lost that season, or that postseason was Reggie. The only main.
Well, no, they lost Artest.
Well, no, I'm saying other than Reggie and of course Artest, they didn't lose anybody after that.
No. Well, Reggie was there, but they didn't have Artest. That was the.
Yeah. That
was the killer for the Pacers. They did not have Artest. Then they still took them to the Eastern Conference Finals. Did they take them to the Eastern Conference Finals that year?
I don't remember.
Was that the year before?
I think it was the year before because that year. I remember that year because we had courtside seats a week after the Palace at the Palace. My parents had courtside seats.
Oh, really? You could have seen nobody.
Yeah. I got Jamal Tinsley. I don't care about Tinsley. And all the 10-day contracts they had to sign really quick. People I don't even know.
But what I did see was Artest when he won his ring, and the first thing he said was, "I got a ring," and Jermaine didn't, and I feel horrible about it.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
But
the one thing I've always forgotten was how good Jermaine was.
No, that was his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his team. No doubt.
He probably in his time he was probably top 5 player.
Oh yeah, he was that good. Yeah, that team was so much fun to watch.
And the Colts were good that year, so just it made the city that much better.
Right.
Yeah. One thing I was drawing a lot of comparisons to with that team was how close it was to. I don't want to compare them to the Bulls, but they were a lot like the Bulls in my opinion. Reggie was kind of like Jordan.
You had the supporting roles, but those guys were superstars.
You had the guy you don't want to, the great defensive player, the guy you don't want to get in a tussle with, Artest and
Rodman.
Oh. Okay.
And then Jermaine O'Neal and Pittman.
Pippen, yeah.
And then you could say Steven Jackson was kind of like.
Jackson was good.
Yeah.
He was real. Even Artest. Artest was really good. But Artest couldn't play now, I don't think, because that style of basketball is gone.
No.
I like their whole. I like how Steven Jackson put it, and I think all of them felt the same way. It's the whole mentality of they're sticking together. They're boys, no matter what happens.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, they're gonna stick up.
Artest would have been slaughtered up there had Jackson not gone up there.
Oh yeah.
My question was...
And why would you pick a fight with a fucking NBA player or any kind of professional
Not
player?
even that.
They beat your ass.
Ron Artest. Why would you pick a fight with Ron Artest knowing his history?
Dude,
why would you do
that's
that?
That's what I was thinking the whole time. There's no way I would, even square up to somebody like that.
No.
How they're like 2 feet taller than you. All right.
The funniest thing, not funny. It was funny, but it wasn't funny. Was the guy who threw the water bottle was not the guy our test went after. In the
No, but that guy squared up.
Yeah,
Dumbass.
Well, I guess it comes to fight or flight. If someone comes running at you, ready to beat.
Yeah, I'm running.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if it's a bear, a snake, Ron Artest, any player from the NBA, the NFL, or Major League Baseball. I'm running away as much as I can.
Immediate fetal position.
You ain't kidding. Just kick me and get it over with.
And you see the guy's face clear as day that threw the bottle, and he's sitting there saying he didn't do it. I thought that was hilarious.
That guy was a jerk off.
Yeah.
He's still a jerk off. He don't even care.
I mean, I can see it 2 ways. Do we blame that guy that threw the bottle? I mean, ultimately, he kind of started it. Or
Yes.
Do we blame the player that went
No, you blame
went to Ron Artest said, "Get your foul now."
As a fan.
I mean,
As a fan, you have no right whatsoever to throw stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you can jaw if you want if it's friendly, but that's even over the line anymore.
If it wasn't for that water bottle hitting our test, Wallace would have probably gotten a couple beer. Wallace would have gotten a couple game suspension for throwing and having a hissy fit. Our test probably would have gotten a game suspension.
Couple game suspension, that would have been over.
Yeah, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah, and that's what Reggie said. That one cup of beer changed the whole season.
And I'm sure multiple players, they do hard fouls every now and then, but at the same time, it was 5 minutes left in the game or something, and they were up by 15 or more or so. I don't know. And it's like, why would?
Well, there is actually a story behind why he hard fouled. The year before, Wallace gave Artest a hard foul.
Yeah, it was just kind of retaliation thing, but
the same thing with pitchers and hitting people.
Right.
Yeah. And back in the day, that was fine to get, hey, a hard foul him back as a, I got your back. Okay, cool.
Here's a technical, shoot a couple shots.
I mean, it didn't matter. Yeah. Let Wallace get all bent out of shape. Let him shoot his shot, and then that's just walk off the court.
How does a cop not know who Reggie Miller is?
Oh, I couldn't believe that! I was dying. I was like, what an asshole. How do you not know who said that? Somebody said that. How do you not know? Was that Jermaine?
Jermaine.
He was like, how do you not know who Reggie Miller is?
Jermaine or Jackson?
Yeah.
It was Jackson.
It was Steven Jackson.
He said it so funny, too.
Because
a
cop came up and was about to mace either Artest or Miller.
No, he was going to mace Miller because he was in a suit.
Yeah. And because he didn't, and the cop even says in the interview, I didn't know that was Reggie Miller. It's the Pacers. How do you not know who Reggie Miller is? Reggie Miller.
He's been on there 17 years.
Yeah, that was
it was 16 years. Yeah.
And at that time, Reggie Miller is considered one of the probably old heads, one of the best players in the league.
He was one of the best players in the league still at that time.
Yeah. Even with Kobe and Shaq and everything, when you made a list in that time, you had to put Miller in the top 10 at least.
Yeah, and I was gonna side with the cop there, but it's like because he's from Detroit, he's not in the area, but still, I mean Reggie's probably been in the sports center, like
you would think.
He's there 3-4 times a year,
more than that, isn't he?
And they just played in the playoffs the last year.
I couldn't believe the lack of cops.
How many? Okay.
I mean,
now when we go to a Pacers game or a Colts game or any game, you at least see.
There's cops at the racetrack. I mean, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
But you got to think, why wouldn't they be? I mean, this is Detroit.
This is 2004. Like 9/11's fresh in the mind.
Yeah,
but still, and it's Detroit.
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, those fans, and I know those fans are rowdy. I mean, there's bad boys. Why wouldn't you, that's what I said. Why weren't the Pistons held accountable? Where's their security? Where's the police? You should have a police presence in a basketball game, because people do stupid stuff when they're drunk, especially in Detroit. Nothing against Detroit. I mean, they're diehard faithful fans. I love that idea of a fan base. But if they've got that reputation already, you got to be prepared.
The head of like events or whatever they interviewed for the Palace, I forget his position, but he's like the head of events. Yeah. He was I like how he took some credit or took some blame. Took a lot of the blame. He's like, you got that many fans that late in the game, that much liquor. He's like, I think he said we should have done a better job.
They should have done it. You know, back then it was all let's blame the Pacers, and at that
thug
time,
mentality.
well, there was a thug mentality in the NBA
Especially
at that
in
time.
the Pacers at that time.
Well, they were all getting, you know, between shots fired and strippers, and that was Jamal and Steven Jackson was part of that too.
Yeah,
they were getting in a lot of trouble. But
my dad stopped supporting the Pacers when Jamal after that.
But push comes to shove. Yeah, should have Artest gone up there? No, but that guy knew what he was doing when he threw the beer, in my opinion. And you can't blame Steven Jackson for going up there to be with his boy. I mean, that's you just don't do that.
You can't blame any of them for defending themselves.
No,
and that's what a federal judge said to Jermaine O'Neal is he had the right to defend himself. Yeah. He had the right to go to his friend's support and defend him.
Yeah, that was a nightmare. That's why
Stern gave it one day and threw the hammer down. Stern's the dirtiest. NBA always has dirty commissioners, in my opinion.
Well, I found it funny that they talked to Tim Donaghy as a referee.
I didn't know he was a ref there.
I didn't either. Did he have a game? Did he have money on the Pistons? You think? Or?
I don't know. He might have. For those of you who don't know, Tim Donaghy was thrown out of the NBA for betting on games he was reffing. He was calling because, and he controlled it. I think that there was more than just him betting because he was. He took the fall. He was.
I was a podcast and they were talking about him and it was like sports conspiracies or something, and it's his whole story and how all he had to do and they talked about the Pacers and the Knicks, and he talks about how he gets Smits into foul trouble early on purpose. Mm-hmm. So they don't cover the spread. I think is essentially what it was about, was covering the spread.
Smits was so dominant down low, he had to put him in foul trouble early to not cover the spread.
But yeah, Donnie was a crook. I think he had mob ties. I don't think it was just.
I don't think that was ever confirmed, but I think I watched a documentary about him, and they said they believe he had mob ties.
Yeah, I think he had mob ties. He had with a bookie, and that's all mob.
Yeah,
if you got a
especially
bookie,
back then.
If you've got a bookie in New York, that's mob.
That's some way somehow.
Yeah, it's just mob tie. That's just the way it is.
They probably did 3 other people, but yeah, you'll eventually.
All right, let's take a turn, and so this weekend. I decided, we decided to watch Mulan, me and Kimberly. I've never seen, this is the live action Mulan. I've never seen the live action Mulan, and just a few months ago was the first time I ever watched the cartoon Mulan. I loved it. It was really good. The live action Mulan has gotten gets a lot of hate, a lot of hate it deserves, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I know this is a hot take, but Mulan is actually an okay movie as a live-action movie. My issue with the movie was, or my thing with the movie was if it didn't have the name Mulan, if it was named anything else, and had nothing to do with Mulan as a character, it would have been a better movie. Taking the name Mulan, that movie had a bar, had a level, it had a reach. It didn't have the music, it didn't have the dragon, the comedic relief dragon. It kind of tried to shy away from the supernatural magic stuff, but it didn't want to shy away enough because it still did the chi. It still did as Kimberly put it, the Force, because they were basically using the Force in some scenes. It looked like they had the Phoenix that only Mulan could see, and it had the witch that could transform into bats and an eagle. But if it would have shied away from Mulan completely as a name and just been a new Disney princess based in China.
Disney has ran out of ideas.
Yes, it has. Pixar hasn't. Pixar is still great. But Mulan does not deserve the hate it gets.
It does if it's supposed to be Mulan and you just said it ain't.
It ain't Mulan.
It is Mulan, though. That's why it's getting hate.
I thought it was a good movie, so. It deserves all the hate it gets, but it doesn't deserve all the hate it gets. I don't know how to put that other than that, and I know that's confusing. Have you seen it, Mackie?
No.
We don't have girlfriends. We don't watch movies like that, Chris.
I heard it was bad.
I heard it sucked too.
Never watched it. I've probably the lowest on the live action Disney movies. Like Lion King was good. I think
Lion King was terrible.
It was good.
What?
It was actually really good.
It's awful. The cartoon is so much better.
I mean, yeah, it's so much better, but the live action is really good.
It's better than Mulan live action.
What about Aladdin?
I love Aladdin.
Okay, so my cousin Tyler, right? We always argue over. Usually it's Lord of the Rings / Star Wars argument, which is better all the time. But last night he tweeted while we're here because we were talking about. He said The Dark Knight was the best superhero movie out there ever, which it's
I can't argue that.
I can't argue that, but I still
top 3
easy. But he says while we're here, the live action Aladdin should be deleted from the world. It's so bad. The hard drives it lives on should be cast into an endless pit of flames. And I thought that was so funny. So
that bad.
Well, Tim's not going to be able to join us. Someone got stabbed in the hospital.
No, someone came in with a stab wound. Didn't he get stabbed in the hospital?
Sorry, someone got stabbed and I was tied up. I read that as someone got stabbed in the hospital.
I wish I could send a picture of this floor.
If he was tied up, that's kinky.
So yeah, that's why Mulan is not good.
Man, what kind of stuff is Tim into, man?
Right.
All right. So, Chris, did you watch Star Trek Lower Decks season 2?
I'm not, dude. I haven't been home.
It's only 30 minutes out of your day. You could have watched it all weekend.
When was I home all weekend?
When you were sleeping.
You could play
IndyCar qualifying. So I went to the Speedway, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Friday and Saturday. So Friday was qualifying for the IndyCars. It didn't start till 7:00. So by the time we got home, or zoomed through Chick-fil-A, which has the best chicken sandwich ever, Chris.
I'm going there tomorrow after my doctor's appointment.
By the time I got home, it was like 9-something, and we had to be up at 5:30 for the gates to open at 7 because we had general admission seats for the IndyCar race on Sunday or Saturday, and you got to get to the Spectator Mountain fast. So no, I haven't watched Lord. I planned to watch my other show and finish that off today. So no, I haven't had a chance. I did see it was up.
It's okay.
Don't tell me about it. Let's not talk about it.
I'm just gonna say it starts off amazingly. It's hilarious. I laughed through the entire 30-minute episode.
Is it just one? It's just the first episode.
It's just the first episode.
Okay, then I'm only an episode behind.
I know. I'm just letting everybody, all our loyal fans, know that the new season's up because we were big on the show last year. So it was really good. All right, Chris.
Hold on. 18 minutes ago, sources say Cubs Reds 22 Field of Dreams game, August 11th. That's going to be awesome.
Oh, that's going to suck balls because there's nobody good on the Cubs anymore. It'd be cool to see. At least I was hoping they'd do another game there. I mean, why not? They put so much money into it.
Right.
They should have everybody play there at least once.
I mean,
at least all the classic teams.
They saw how good it can do, so they're probably going to do it again.
Oh man.
Okay, so back to podcasting. I was excited.
Let's use that as a
transition.
Let's talk about Field of Dreams.
Okay, so Thursday, what was it? The 12th?
Yes.
12th, yes. The 12th of August was the first game MLB game that they played at the Field of Dreams area. I forget what city in Iowa it was, but it's where they filmed the movie Field of Dreams, but it's not on the same field. They built a bigger field right behind it.
Right, that's what I heard.
And it looked fantastic. It was amazing the way they did everything. Kevin Costner, the actor in Field of Dreams, he threw out the first pitch. He walked out from the cornfield, and they had the music playing, and I had goosebumps. So they had the music playing. He just did all his theatrical.
What the hell, dude? What are you?
Yeah, his theatrical, acting face on. He looked around, and then it came to the point at the music. Perfect timing. All the players from the White Sox and the Yankees walked out from the cornfield. Oh, dude. I about need a new pair of shorts there. It was fucking awesome. It was so cool. The game was absolutely fantastic. I mean, beautiful view.
Stop.
There's only Alright. There's only like the crowd there was kind of minimal. I mean, it was packed at 10,000 compared to 40,000 that you would normally get at a normal baseball park. But
Right.
and oh man, so cool. So then they had. I mean, people. When the lights went down, or the sun went down, lights came on. I mean, there were so many home runs. So there was 7 home runs. They were crushed.
Jeez, really?
Going into the cornfield, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It's such a good game too.
Was it a shorter field or something?
No.
It had the same dimensions of like a. It was based off another field. I forget what it was, but it basically the same dimensions of that one. I mean, players could actually, like, if they wanted to, they could probably run into the cornfield, but you weren't going to catch up to those bombs. They were crushed.
Really?
Those home runs. And it was actually a really good game, too, because it ended
with a walk-off. Yeah.
Yeah, walk-off home run. And I guess it did help that I won like $150 off of it, so.
You posted a screenshot of your bets, and I was like, I have a feeling I should copy them, but I didn't. Yeah. And I'm so mad at myself.
Well, it helped because, like, FanDuel had a promotion, like, for every home run, they'd give you $5. So, 7 home runs, I got $35 off of it. The max was $35. So, like, you know how many people probably use that promo, put $25
You know what?
Whether they won or not, I mean, they would have made $10 off of it with the promo money.
Right.
I mean,
Pat McAfee, as Pat McAfee says, we want to make FanDuel go bankrupt.
Yeah, I mean,
that was your chance.
Yeah, it was such an amazing game, and I'm so excited that they decided to put the Cubs and Reds or any other team. I would watch any other team there. I don't even care if I have money on it. It's such a beautiful park.
Were they in their classic uniforms?
Yeah.
Throwbacks?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the only thing, and I know somebody tweeted about it, and I agree with them. They were on very throwback uniforms, but you get a freaking Nike swoosh right there. Can't Nike just not put it on a uniform just once? Just make it look as real can be. Put a swoosh in the infield or put a swoosh behind home plate.
On the sleeve or something, not right there on the chest.
It was right there on the chest, and it just seemed out of place with the whole, just say brought to you by Nike. I mean, I know you're looking for free advertisement, but make it look as real as possible. Either that or make it the same color as the jersey. You know what I mean? If it's a white jersey, just make it white.
Embroider it out a little bit. Make it noticeable, but not noticeable.
Yeah.
So they're doing another one, and it was amazing. All right.
What'd they say? August? What was it? August? They said. Is it gonna be this year?
No, next year.
Oh shit! I thought it was gonna be this year.
Gotta wait another year, Mikey.
Well, of course they want to put the Cubs in this year. They're on an 11-game losing streak, so sad. Probably 12 today, so.
We won't live.
They won't be in last place in the Central, so the Pirates already sealed that probably. They never know though. Pirates might go on a heater. Cubs.
There you go. Pirates are kind of secretly my team that I kind of used to pay attention to, back when McCutcheon was on the team.
Oh yeah.
Because I like McCutcheon.
After a while.
Yeah. Back when McCutcheon was good. Well, he's not bad still, but is he on the Giants still?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I thought he was on the Phillies, but that might have changed.
All right, Chris.
Yeah.
Our resident F-boy, tell us about F-boy Island.
Hang on a second.
Hang on a second.
Talk about something else.
Okay.
Seriously, seriously, find something else to talk about for a second.
All right. 7 Deadly Sins, Mikey.
Oh, great. So I was recommended 7 Deadly Sins for quite some time now. I could have watched Friday Night Lights. I've never seen that, but I decided to watch an anime because it's about that time. I haven't watched anime in a while, so 7 Deadly Sins was the next on my list. I'm only 4 episodes in. And I was talking to Zach who recommended this to me that I started it, and he was like,
Zach, as in our Zach?
No, as in Jim Zach.
Jim Zach. Okay.
Jim Zach.
So like Zach doesn't want.
Yeah. He said something that pretty rang true. Like, you did not. I was like, I did not expect to see it like that way it turned and what direction it's going. Especially 4 episodes in, it's like, okay, I'm hooked already. It's like you maybe like second or third episode. I mean, you're pretty much hooked and you want to watch more. But it took it in a direction where I did not think like, oh, you think these 7. I mean, today's culture, you think these 7 deadly sins, they're always told to you like these are bad things. Well, in the movie, it's quite opposite almost, it seems. And even like in these holy nights, I mean, you think like video games and even the books and stuff, the Holy Templars, I guess you could say like they're supposed to be good, but well, in this they're quite the opposite. It's like, okay, what direction is this anime going? It's like, I want to see where it's going, and it seems really good. I like the animation. It's kind of different than really anything else.
It's kind of a brighter.
Yeah, you can say that. It seems rounder too. I don't know if you could say rounder.
I know what you mean by looking at some images. It looks.
Yeah, it looks childish almost.
It's
it's not like your serious anime like Bleach or like Death Note or something. It's not
Attack on Titan.
It's not like something serious like that. I mean,
it's 5 seasons. Okay, that's
there's fighting and I guess you could say blood and powers and supernatural stuff, but it seems really cool, and there's 5 seasons of it, so I'll be watching it for quite some time.
It's on Netflix.
Yes.
Okay.
And they have, which I like to watch shows with subtitles, but it does have English voice actors, or what is it? It's dubbed in English.
Okay.
Which you can also watch it in Japanese and with English subtitles, but I usually put on subtitles, but like with the English dubbed and the subtitles, it's off. And
it always
bothers me so much, so I had to turn off the subtitles because I'm just like, that's not what they said. They said it's the same thing. It means the same thing, but it's not what they said. So it bothered me, so I had to turn it off.
Yeah, I think someone told me that. I think Dragon Ball, the story. I don't know if it's Dragon Ball or another one. The story's actually changed a little bit just because of these translation issues. Cat. So, I also started a new anime lately. It's called Assassination Classroom, and it's only 2 seasons, and I don't think they're making it anymore from what I can tell. Basically, it's an alien blows up the moon and decides to become a teacher of this classroom of assassins, and they have a year to kill him or he's going to blow up the earth. And you think it's going to be a serious, show? No, it's very lighthearted, and they're becoming friends with this alien thing, and it's really fun. It's a really fun show. I suggest it. It's lighthearted. It's easy to watch. I have it on in the background, when I'm doing other things. So you don't really. So far, I haven't had to pay attention to every episode, to know what's happening. It's not like My Hero, where if you miss certain episodes, if you miss them, there goes the entire story. But it's a good show. I don't really have much more to say on it other than that. I know that's kind of bad of me, but oh well.
Another lighthearted one, which I haven't watched in a while. I watched the full season. I watched the first season, but I just couldn't get the second season because it was basically the same idea. And I know Tim suggested this, and it's 18 plus, of course. It's Food Wars.
Oh my gosh! I remember last year Tim suggested. I only got like 2 episodes in because it was so.
I did watch the whole first season. It was like it was funny. It's just something to put on the background.
Yeah, I've always. if anything could happen to me, I want when I bite into a sandwich or something,
Yes.
I want what happens in that show to happen to me.
Yeah. That makes you love food that much better.
I know. You ready, Chris? Or are you still?
Yeah.
All right. Take us off with F-Boy Island.
Okay, hang on a second. I just got some bad news. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so, F-Boy Island. Okay, so there's this show's a train wreck, which I love train wreck dating shows. So what they do is they put 3 hot women. It's Nikki Glazer is the executive producer of this show, and she hosts it. So it's a 10-episode deal. It's on HBO Max. So what they do is they take 3 hot women and they put them on an island with 24 guys. You have 12 F-boys and 12 nice guys. And they don't know which is which. So they eliminate, in the early stages of the show, they eliminate like 3 guys. And at that time, they tell them if they're an F-boy or a nice guy. So every F-boy that gets eliminated gets put in this really nice house on the island still, right? And all the F-boys gets put in this compound. And like, it's outside. Like, they sleep on cots.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Because they're F-boys. So
you said the nice guys that get eliminated, they stay on the island in a nice house.
yes.
And then the F-boys that go to the bad house.
Yeah, like a compound where they sleep outside.
When they're not eliminated, where do they all stay?
They stay in a nice house together, yeah.
Okay,
and
yeah.
and then you have these 3 women. So they go out on dates, and it's a process of elimination. And then eventually, this is just, I am, women are stupid when it comes to F-boys, because this guy was an F-boy, and they're like, oh, I'm so surprised. How could you not notice this guy was a douchebag from the start? You could so tell the difference between an F-boy and a nice guy. It was ridiculous. I mean, there were a few shady ones that you couldn't tell. But then they finally tell them whether they're an F-boy or a nice guy. So they know before they start eliminating more guys. Like halfway through the competition, they start saying they know who's an F-boy and then who's a nice guy. And of course, you hear the same shit every single time, which is, well, he's an F-boy, but he could change. It's like, you dumb bitch. You're saying he's not going to change. You know why? Because this is a competition and you are the trophy. It's the same thing for him every weekend. Why do you think this is going to change? Plus, there's money on the line. There's $100,000 for the winner at the end of the show, right? So, should I spoil this? Because y'all ain't going to watch this anyway, right?
Who would be declared the winner? Like, who? Does it say there's 3 girls?
There's 3 girls. They pick a guy to date. So, at the end, which I watched the final episode tonight, so they're down to 2 guys each. One's an F-boy and one's a nice guy. That's how it just played out, where they picked an F-boy and a nice guy.
Does the show tell you, like...
So there's 6 guys left.
There's 6 guys left, and they each have 2 to pick from.
Okay.
That they've gone out on dates with and stuff. So, so they pick. They decide whether they want an F-boy or a nice guy. Blah 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 blah. So here's the deal: if the girl chooses a nice guy, they get $100,000 to split.
Oh no! I think I know where this is going.
If she chooses the F-boy,
the F-boy gets it all.
The F-boy gets all of it, and he can decide if he wants to split or not. He would have to.
Oh, dude, he's gonna. I would take it and run.
So they do. And this one guy his name was CJ, and he was a total douchebag at the start. And of course she's like, oh, I'm so torn. What should I choose? I really like CJ. Like, the guy's a dick. Don't pick him. So there's this girl Casey. She's real pretty, but she picks the nice guy. So thank God, right? So then there's girl Sarah, and so you got Sarah. She's got Garrett, and Garrett is of course Garrett's an F-boy. You can tell just by the name Garrett, he's going to be an F-boy. And she can choose the nice guy, right? So she's like, oh, we really opened up last night, blah, 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 blah. So she chooses Garrett, right?
Can I take a wild guess on what Garrett does? Takes the money and runs.
Yeah, takes the money and runs. And it was so hysterical. I was like, you stupid bitch. How could you knew he was an F-boy.
And if I was that nice guy, I'd be like, fuck you.
So then because he can either split it with her or take the money and break off. And he doesn't have to date her after the show. So then the third girl, and this is the thing that you notice that, so when the F-boy didn't get chosen, he's like, oh, I wish you nothing but the best, blah, 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 blah. And then when Garrett gets chosen over the nice guy, the nice guy's like, he's like heartbroken, he's truly upset about it. And she's like, she picked the wrong guy, which she did pick the wrong guy. So then they get to the third chick, and she picks the F-boy. And this F-boy, I don't see how this one's going to last, because this F-boy's all over the place. He's telling her that he loves her, then he likes her, then he loves her, then he's like, they ain't going to last, because she ain't going to put up with this shit for too long before she dumps this guy. Plus, he lives in Miami, and she lives in Los Angeles. But the twist was, okay, Garrett gets the $100,000, and the chick gets nothing, right? Well, they don't think they should reward douchebags, which is essentially what she did. So he has to take the $100,000 and donate it to a charity of the girl's choice. So he walks away with nothing. But he told her, he's like, this is a game show. I came to win.
Uh-huh.
I'm not ready to date right now and be in a relationship. I just played the game. And I was like, and the other girl, CJ, that picked the nice guy, she's like, you're an asshole. You're a dick. Well, how did you not see this coming a mile away? I could see this coming so far away. I knew she was going to pick the asshole, and she did, because they always pick the asshole every single time. That's why nice guys finish last.
Yeah.
Then they always go crying to the nice guy who's their friend because they friend zoned them. And they're like, well, then that's what you get.
I'm pretty sure I've seen, like, on the Bachelorette, there's bachelors on there that already have a girlfriend, and they're in the competition.
Yeah, they're in it for the money.
They just broke up. The two douchebags, one Garrett, he broke up with his girlfriend before he went on the show, and so did this other guy that didn't get chosen.
Yeah.
So they bring back so what was beauty of it was, so they bring back all the nice guys and the F-boys, and they bring them back, and they can ask them questions about the guys that are left. And they're like, yeah, the CJ, the F-boy, the F-boy that didn't get chosen. He's like, he told his buddy that he thought that this girl looked like a low-profile escort. So they tell her this. So she's got all this. She's like, you said that about me? You didn't even know me. Oh, I'm sorry. He plays that crap on it. So that was the beauty of it. Like, these guys come back and just trash talk him. And it's like, well, he had a girlfriend too, and this guy had a girlfriend. Well, we FaceTimed her, and he said that there was an amicable split. And all the guys that were the nice guys they got kicked off the island. Essentially, we were like, yeah, we don't believe him. We think she was in on it.
Oh,
yeah. I got a question. I haven't seen it, but are the nice guys? Are they all kind of good-looking guys?
They're all good-looking guys.
Okay, I
yes.
want to make sure that all the good-looking or all the nice guys weren't me.
No, they weren't us. They were
beach guys.
They were beach guys, yeah.
Cali guys,
Miami
guys.
God, the F-boys are so douchey. Like, it's like turned up. I don't know.
Bro.
How can you not? I mean, they say all the right stuff. Anything. And this one girl's like, well, he told me everything that I wanted to hear from him. I was like, you dumb bitch, just because he's playing the game, he knows what to say to you. Quit falling for it. So one girl left empty-handed, and then two girls left with a date, but I don't know. It was just, it's hysterical and funny, and you yell stupid things. You're like, you dumb bitch. You don't know how many times I yelled that at the TV. And I love women, but I just think that I'm tired of them. The beauty. The show's proof that beauty is only skin deep. It really is, and of course, guys want the most gorgeous. I'm a realist. I know I'm not going to date a supermodel. I'm not going to date out of my league. I ain't. You know what I mean? So, these are beautiful women, so obviously they can get any guy they want. But it's just proof that the F-boys are out there. They're real, and this is the way they treat women, and you've got to stop falling for stuff like this. But there's some ugly F-boys out there, I'm sure, too. I don't know. The rich ones. So that's F-Boy Island.
They call them F-Boys for a reason. So
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so it's a good show, though. I enjoyed it.
How'd you watch it?
It's on HBO Max. All 10 episodes are available now. Right now. Watch it.
I'll I just got the new login information. I can put it on the TV in here.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I'll put Funimation on in there. I don't know what else. Anyways, do you want to talk Val Kilmer, or do you want to?
No, yeah. Let's talk about Val Kilmer. So Val Kilmer has a documentary, and he can't talk anymore. He's like Ned. He's like Ned from South Park.
So he had
cancer. Okay. Yeah. So his son does the talking for him. And his son narrates the documentary for him. And he talks about how he got started and his career. And it's really, really good. And he talks about when he got the call for Batman. And he took it without even reading the script. He was a very good Batman. And so he took it because he says every kid wants to be Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Every kid growing up wants to be Batman. And so he gets there and he plays Batman, and then he realizes he's not Batman. He's the guy in the suit. The suit is Batman. And he had a hard time standing because the suit was so stiff, and he'd lose his balance a lot, and he was just the guy in the suit, and that's why he didn't replay it again. And he says every kid wants to be Batman, but nobody wants to play Batman. There's a big difference. And he made a valid point. Why would you want to play Batman? You don't want to play Batman. You want to be Batman. You want to own that character. And he couldn't own that character because all they cared about in production and everything had to do with the suit. Had to do with the suit. Didn't have anything to do with the character inside the suit. And that bothered him.
You mean like talk about the lines he had, or like? Yeah,
it was just he didn't feel like. I mean, when he played Morrison in The Doors, he was Jim Morrison.
Yeah.
When he's Iceman, they purposely when they did Top Gun, those guys, him and Hollywood and all those, they broke away from Tom Cruise and them, and they did it on purpose because it plays better on the screen. So he was the douchey guy on purpose. Tom Cruise is one of his best friends. He loves Tom Cruise, but he treated him kind of shitty during Top Gun. Because he owned that role as Iceman. That's the way Iceman was.
He's a very, very method actor.
Right. I mean, he's not like that, but he just felt it was better. It comes across the screen better in certain roles like that, and that makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. So he did. So he turned down the second Batman role, and then of course he did Island of Dr. Moreau, which he was excited to play with Marlon Brando, and it went through a director change. I didn't know this. It went through a director change. And Brando was hardly ever on set. They used a lot of body doubles because his face was painted white and you couldn't tell it was him or not. So he just really didn't want to be there. So he kind of mailed in the performance. And it's funny because they show him at a comic book convention somewhere. And we thought he was kind of quirky and weird when we saw the pictures at Comic-Con in Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
He really loves his fans. He really does. And it's funny, the amount of people, it just over and over again. Can you write, you can be my wingman anytime. Yeah. So that's how he'll sign it. You can be my wingman anytime, Val Kilmer. And but he really does, he gets tired though, really. And so if you're in line to see Val Kilmer and they will he's like, I've got to take a break. And he will cut it off right there. And he will be gone hour, 2 hours because he's got to take a nap. Mm-hmm. He just gets worn out. So I think people see that as they think he's weird and eccentric, and he's not. Mm-hmm. It's just this is what he has to do now because he's got this trach in his throat, and he just seems to be a real quiet. He keeps to himself, and he wrote a one-man play about Mark Twain, and he toured the country in a one-man play as Mark Twain.
One-man play?
Yeah, he wrote it himself, and he was Mark Twain. I mean, he had the get-up, the wig, and it was really funny. And that's when he started the sickness. He started throwing up blood and stuff, and and he contributed himself a lot with Mark Twain because Mark Twain had lost a daughter. Val Kilmer lost his younger brother. His younger brother had an epileptic fit in the pool, and he drowned, or the hot tub, and he drowned when they were teenagers. So he toured the country. Mark Twain had to tour the country and write because he was broke. Val Kilmer had to do the same thing because of his divorce. He had to go tour because he had to pay for his divorce, basically, and start all over again. So he saw a lot of similarities between him and Mark Twain. So it's a great documentary. I have a whole new respect for Val Kilmer. I've always been a Val Kilmer fan anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
And he does these little I first remember him from Real Genius, where he plays this college genius, and he takes in this high school kid under his wing, and they're trying to build a laser. Well, the teacher has got a contract with the government, and they got these nerds to build a laser to just evaporate people from Earth. That's basically what the movie's about. And he's got a picture that his brother drew, because his brother would make movies. His little brother would make movies with this camera, and they would make these stupid movies when they were kids and stuff, and skits and stuff. So he would do drawings and stuff, and he's got his brother's drawing up on the wall in the movie.
Wow.
And they kind of point that out, this brother that had passed away. So it's really neat. It's a really good documentary. I got a whole new respect for Val Kilmer. I think it's on Amazon. I think. I don't know. I watched it on my...
I only knew him from, of course, Top Gun. I'd have to look and see if I've really noticed.
He's got a good... He's
done a lot.
He did this... Instead of doing the Batman movie, he went and did The Saint, which he liked because The Saint was an old Roger Moore TV show. Mm-hmm. And he got to play different characters in the movie because he was dressing up as undercover, and he enjoyed doing that more. And that's a good movie. Don't sleep on The Saint. It's really good. And also, Willow, which is where he met his wife, Joanne Wally Kilmer. Willow is on Disney Plus, and it's a fantasy movie. It's really, really, really good. You guys would, I know you guys would like it. If you guys like Game of Thrones, you'd like Willow. So I highly recommend watching Willow.
He started acting. His first credited movie was Top Secret.
Yeah. And then it was Real Genius
in '84. Yeah. And then Top Gun was his third movie. He's in the new Top Gun.
And you know how he flips?
He plays Admiral Tom Iceman.
Yes.
I didn't know he was an admiral.
Yeah, I knew he was going to be it. So it's funny because in
he's a MacGruber.
Yes. He in Real Genius, he flips quarters through his fingers, right? Top Gun, he flips a pin. And then I think he flips a coin in Tombstone as well. Well, they're showing him before an autograph session, and he's got a Sharpie, right? And he flips this Sharpie. So it must be just something that he's always done, that he kind of incorporates into his characters in the movies. So it must be like a nervous tick, but he can flip a pin through his hands. So, check it out. Please check it out. It's really, 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 really good. I highly recommend it.
And you said it's on... How'd you watch it?
I watched it on my app. But I think it's on Amazon.
I can look it up right now. It's just called Val.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
I know you brought up Comic-Con, but speaking of Indie Comic-Con, there was a lot of announcements this weekend about people coming to be special guests, and I'm really excited for a couple of them. The one you brought up today, she's plays in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think she plays the main girl in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Elizabeth Henstridge.
Is that Natasha Henstridge's sister?
I have no idea. I don't know who she is.
She was the alien chick in that one movie. What was it?
There's a lot of movies with alien chicks.
Species.
Oh, maybe.
That's a weird alien one.
Speaking... And she was also the substitute teacher in South Park that Wendy sent to the Middle East because she hated her.
Sir Tim quoting that exact episode for some reason. Because I know he would know exactly what you're talking about.
So who is it? What's her name? Something Henstridge? What?
Elizabeth Henstridge.
Elizabeth.
Mostly known for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is an underrated show, but I couldn't get past the first season.
Yeah, I watched it when it first came out, and then I was just like, okay, that's that. It's not what I thought it was going to be, but
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't.
She is not related to Natasha Henstridge, so
just the same last name.
Same last name, yes.
Another announcement was Bruce Boxleitner.
Yeah,
he played in the original Tron.
Yes, wasn't he in like a Babylon? Not a Babylon show. He was in a space show.
Let me look. He was in the Neutron also. Babylon 5. He was in Babylon 5. He was President John.
There
J.
you go. I knew he
Sheridan.
was in a space
Babylon
show.
5 is an underrated sci-fi show. It's on HBO and it's on my watch list, and I'm going to watch it. I've just heard so many good things about
Sheldon talks about Babylon 5 all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
it. Takes Star Trek Deep Space Nine takes a lot from Babylon 5, but they don't. But
So they
make
ripped
their-
it off.
They don't rip it off. They take a lot. There's a lot of similarities, but there's enough differences.
Because they ripped it off.
Hey bro, let me copy your work.
Yeah.
You're
You
right.
change it up enough.
Yeah.
Flips the flag the other way. Speaking of Star Trek, Gates McFadden, Dr. Crusher from The Next Generation is going to be there. $50 photos.
Patches O'Houlihan.
Is that really the same guy?
No.
Oh, okay.
Gates McFadden is a girl.
Oh, okay.
Patches O'Houlihan's the coach from Dodgeball.
Yeah, I know.
In the wheelchair. I just think it sounds similar. Gates McFadden, Patches O'Houlihan, are they related?
All right.
The legend himself, William Shatner, is going to be there. Freaking Shatnering it up.
If I ever got if I ever got to meet a celebrity like that who's been in so much, but I would want to talk to him about something he's not well known for. If I were to meet Keanu Reeves, I would say something about his
band, Stardog.
No, him and The Replacements. I love Shane Falco.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Yeah, or and I've heard
Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
Bill, that's a big one. I'm sure not a lot of people go up to Keanu Reeves and be like, "Hey, what's up, Shane Falco?" or something.
Wait, what was What was the one when he was in with the water with what's his name?
What water? Waterworld?
No. But no.
That's Kevin Costner. That was a good movie.
That actually was a good movie.
That was a really
It was a good movie.
Or when people, I know I've heard a story.
Point Break.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Point Break was awesome.
Yeah. But I've heard a story of someone meeting Jamie Foxx, and they'd ask him. They said hey, you're my favorite second string quarterback or something, because he played a quarterback in I forget what movie.
Oh, Any Given Sunday.
Yes. Was
Yeah.
Was that?
Any Given Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, and Jamie Foxx was mad. He gave that dude mad respect. Hey, thanks. No one ever goes up to Jamie Foxx and be like, hey, I loved what you did as a QB, or even if they meet it or not.
Yeah, he was.
He
Keanu Reeves
get
was.
that every day.
Keanu Reeves was Donnie Barksdale in The Gift.
So whatever William Shatner's not really known for, maybe one of his commercials.
T.J. Hooker.
Miss Congeniality.
I know.
He was in Dracula. Point Break. I'm going to find what this movie is.
Honestly, his photos and autographs aren't that much. It's $100 for a photograph and $100 for an autograph.
Let me tell you my top.
Which honestly is not that bad compared to when you go to San Diego Comic Con. You could be spending up to $300, $400 for a photo op.
Chain Reaction.
Can you bring your own? I don't know.
Yeah, they'll sign it, but you got to they'll pay you a different fee.
Yeah, I was sure with COVID or something. I don't know if you can bring your own maybe a shirt or something.
Yeah, you could.
You can take whatever you want up there to sign, and they also have stuff up there you can buy, and they'll sign it for you.
Keanu Reeves was in with Morgan Freeman and Rachel Weisz in Chain Reaction. It's a very good movie.
Bank off Comic Con.
So I saw
that they rake it in.
I saw Shatner do a talk down in Gainesville, the University of Florida.
Yeah.
Right? And all these people were there, and of course, all the Chris's were there in their Star Trek uniforms, and
Hey. I was actually going to buy one.
They seem hurt by that.
Have you ever kissed a girl? So Shatner's saying he's giving this talk, right? So he announces that he's I'm not going to be signing autographs after this talk. He says, we just want to make that announcement. And half the people got up and left. Because that was the only reason they were there. They thought he would do a talk and then he would sign autographs. He'd have been there for 16 hours probably. There was a lot of people. This was where UF plays basketball, basically. Huh. So, but he gave this talk, and he just tells he's a great storyteller. But I just found that funny and it was my generation of kids. This is, I was probably 22, I think, at the time. And there was like, the star of Star Trek, everybody cheered. Then they said T.J. Hooker, and the place went nuts. Because he played this cheesy cop, like he did the roles, and pointed the gun and went over the hood of the car. And it was the whole 9 years. It was typical 80s cop, T.J. Hooker. But he was huge in that role, as you know. So that's my way. I saw William Shatner give a speech just telling stories.
That would have been awesome.
It was pretty cool. Actually, it was really cool.
Are they usually there the whole weekend or just like one day?
It depends. Most of them are there. Usually,
I'm sure they have a lot of other stuff to do. They don't want to be there whole.
Most of them are there for 2 days, 2-3 days.
How many times Shatner
is there? 3 days.
Yeah.
Shatner's only there Friday, Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But
that's more than I thought.
like Kevin Nash, he's there all weekend.
Yes.
And Chandler Riggs is there. Chandler Riggs, who played Coral from Walking Dead, he's there all 3 days.
That's
$40 for a picture and autograph with him.
What about Kevin Nash?
$40.
There you go. I could meet Kevin Nash.
Everyone else is $50. So Gates, Bruce, and Elizabeth. William, I understand William being the most expensive. He's the biggest actor that they've announced, but they've also said there's going to be a bunch more coming.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Because Indy Comic Con's one of the first big cons out of COVID, and plus Indiana doesn't care about COVID anymore.
Yeah, I've never like met a celebrity or like an athlete or.
Really?
Yeah.
When I met what's his name? The guy that does Goku's voice. Sean Schimmel.
Okay.
He was one of the most down to earth people I ever met. You remember my Hodor shirt?
Yeah.
We talked about Game of Thrones for about 5 minutes.
What? You had that much time?
It wasn't because
they do. If it's something off the wall and it's something they don't normally see, they'll talk to you.
Yeah. Because
I've got a story about this too.
When the person in front of me was in line, he talked to me. With me, he talked to me when I was walking away. We were still talking. Because that was the episode Hodor died. When I was that weekend.
Oh man!
So that was big news.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've only met. I met.
That's something you always remember too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just remember how down to earth and a nice guy he was.
I've met three famous. I've met Ashley Judd, which she was kind of a bitch. She was. There's no salt.
They're getting inducted into. I heard that today. They're getting inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame.
She's just not a very nice person.
Next year,
I met Patrick Dempsey, McLovin, whatever his name was on.
Oh yeah.
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, that guy? Yeah.
He was really cool. He's a nice guy.
I think you said McLovin. I was like, you met him.
and I met Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, that's pretty
Which
cool.
was freaking awesome. People are like, is he short? I'm like, I don't know. I felt like an 8-year-old kid meeting Rocky Balboa. He seemed like he was 20 feet tall.
Let's talk about the creme de la creme, the guy that made The Room.
Yes, Tommy Wiseau. I met Tommy Wiseau, yes.
Weird.
Last year, pre-COVID, December of 19, pre-COVID, they had a showing of The Room in Indianapolis, and it was a meet and greet.
No way.
Yeah, so I bought a script of The Room, and I got it autographed. And I was telling him, because I'm trying to make this documentary about my family in the Indy 500, but, financial issues, It's like anything. So I was telling him I was making a documentary. And he says, I'm not going to tell you good luck, because he says, that's just cheesy. Everybody tells you. He says, just keep working hard and just keep doing it. And he says, you'll do good. And I was like, that was kind of cool to say.
Like almost like the best advice.
Yeah. He's just like, keep working on it. That's all he said, kept doing, So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, because like saying like good luck, that's just like, just get out of here.
Yeah, it's exactly right. So he took that time.
Yeah.
And my other celebrity thing, you was talking about your Hodor shirt. So I was in Orlando one day when I lived in Florida, just goofing off. And I was listening to the rock station, an alt-rock station. And they say, Seven Dust is in town, and they're signing autographs at the Virgin Megastore at downtown Disney. Which the Virgin Megastore was like a record store. They sold vinyl even back then. This is the early 2000s. They had vinyl. They had music, movies, books. They had a coffee shop, video games. It was a great big 2-story media store. So I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. Maybe I should go over there and meet Seven Dust. That was kind of cool. So I'm in a Peyton Manning jersey and a hat. And I get there and I get in line to meet buy my CD, get in line to meet Seven Dust. And I'm surrounded by every goth kid within a 60-mile radius of the Orlando area, because Seven Dust is, alt rock. And they're all in black jeans. It's like 90 degrees outside. They're in black jeans and black shirts with their chokers, with the spikes and everything, I'm there in a Peyton Manning jersey. So I
stand out.
Right? Well, so I get up there and I'm meeting the guys and it's their guitar player. And he goes, "Hey, Peyton Manning, what's up?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm doing all right." I said, for some reason, that's the dumbest thing I thought I ever said. I said, "I wish I had him in my fantasy league." That's the first thing I said. And I'm like, why did I say that?
Yeah, right.
He goes, "I've got him in my fantasy league." I said, "Really?" He says, "Yeah." He says, "He's killing it." I said, "I've got Marvin Harrison." I said, "But he's not throwing to him this year." He says, "I'm not getting any points from him." He says, "I have the same problem." Because he says, I've got 2 leagues, and I've got Marvin Harrison in my other league, and he's not giving me points either.
Yeah.
I was thinking about trading him. So we're talking about fantasy football. And I'm holding the line up because we're talking about fantasy football.
I'm like, people behind you like, "Hey, what's the Geezer doing?"
But I was like, everybody goes up there and says, "Oh, I love this song," or "I love your music," or "I love this." So there's that nice break from just hearing everything that you can just talk about an everyday thing with somebody else.
You can just be human.
Exactly, and I thought that was so cool. So that's my meeting the band from meeting Seven Dust and
that's cool.
and talking fantasy football.
Are you going to come to Comic Con with us, Mikey? Do you plan to?
What is it?
It is. I got the website
Are you guys
right
going like Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah, there's a Saturday.
Probably
This Saturday?
Yeah.
Did you already buy tickets or something?
No,
Oh.
You can buy tickets.
my tickets at the gate.
Oh.
$40 plus tax for Saturday.
I didn't do anything.
It is
Saturday.
October 15th to the 17th.
So it'd be October 16th
Yeah.
For Indie Comic Con?
for Indie Comic Con.
Oh, I thought you said this Saturday.
No.
No,
I was like,
no,
God
no,
damn. Okay.
No, ain't Kokomo Con this Saturday though?
I think it is.
Are we going?
I would think so.
Huh?
I don't. I think so.
You
I'm
think so?
down.
We should go. It's our local con.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Well, at this moment, I'm not doing anything.
I ain't either.
In October, so.
$10 for Comic Con, Kokomo Con this Saturday.
I ain't doing anything this Saturday. I've been once, I think.
Dwayne Cameron's gonna be there. Holy shit, guys!
Dwayne Cameron.
He is Mercury Ranger. I don't know what that is.
Who's Mercury Ranger?
I don't know. Power Rangers Operation Overdrive.
What's he look like? Let me see a picture.
I don't know. Some pretty boy.
Tim would be freaking out right now.
Oh, he's a special one, so I don't know. Overdrive's one of the newer. I guess it was kind of like when I grew out of Power Rangers, and plus he's not like the original like group, so they added him in. They probably added him in. He's like a Silver Ranger, so they added him in like later in the season, so he wasn't really like pictured and I guess in most
Promoted.
yeah, merchandise and stuff.
Right.
Like a Red Ranger or a yellow or something.
He's Mercury. He's 2 colors. He's silver and black and red. He's got 3 colors. He's multicolored.
Yeah.
So it's from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. this weekend. So we'll be there walking around.
We don't have our shirts because I kind of forgot to.
Yeah, that was your job, Chris.
Yeah.
You had one job.
I'll take the entire blame for that one. That was me.
If we've got one,
Bruce,
if we got them by
your
October, we need to do them in business cards for
Yeah.
Indie Comic Con
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. And our last topic. It's kind of a late one because it's kind of solving itself, but the Colts injury issue. Whoever has a voodoo doll of the Colts, please stop poking them.
Everybody in like Indianapolis keeps saying that it's because they play it in Westfield now instead of the old. It's the turf there for some reason.
No.
It should be like the same turf though. It's not,
It is. It was like
yeah.
they were just joking.
Well, all I'm saying right now is that it looks better than what they probably suggest.
Well, my brother was talking about this with my brother, and he's like they probably didn't know what it was like till they got in there. That's why they had such a huge window between the 5 to 12. Because if they had to get in there and do a lot of work and repair,
If it was like my foot.
then
even if he doesn't start like week 1, it's going to be at least. I would say at least by week 3 they should be back.
Can we just hope
Carson Wentz
hope he's out for 4 weeks? Because if he's out for 4 weeks, that means we win the trade with the Eagles, and we don't have to give them a compulsory first round pick.
Yeah.
And then what's the news on Nelson? Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same.
They're both projected to be could be week 1.
Okay, and on the
they were spotted walking around after a week of the surgery, so it seems good, but you never know until
Nelson hopes to be ready for week 1 after undergoing foot surgery. That was August 4th. Wentz is trending towards being available for the Colts regular season opener against Seattle on September 12th.
Sweet.
according to Adam Schefter.
You'd like them that first week because Seattle might be tough, but
They got a hard schedule. We talked about this. How they got a rough schedule this year.
Yeah, the Colts have a really good hard schedule. But it's also good because that means we can play good teams. And
especially when they play the Titans, which is going to be tough.
They play.
It's always
my one worry with the Colts is our receiving core. Hilton's up there in age. Pittman's not as good. Pittman's still young. And after that, I really don't know. Like, there's...
Paris Campbell's always been injured, so you don't know.
January 2nd's the game.
Which one?
January 2nd.
Raiders.
The Raiders. They play the Raiders in Indianapolis, so I can go see the Raiders play.
I'll
Really
go
excited about it.
But the Colts have, probably one of the best running back trios.
The back attack.
Behind one of the best offensive lines.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a tough schedule.
They got they got top 5 defense in the league.
Yeah, but they'll still lose to Jacksonville both times, regardless of how bad they are.
We'll lose to Jacksonville and Indy by like a touchdown.
I'm still bitter of last
their
year's
bye week
with Jacksonville.
Yeah,
that was
Colts have not won their season opener in like 8 years or something like
that. They play Seattle, the Rams, Tennessee, Miami, Baltimore, Houston, San Francisco, Tennessee, the Jets.
Seattle ain't what they used to be.
Jacksonville, Buffalo, Tampa, Houston.
Tampa Bay's coming to town.
New England, Arizona, Las Vegas, and then they always end the season with Jacksonville.
Because
at Jacksonville, they'll lose that game. They always lose at Jacksonville. Every freaking time. Even remember when they went to the Super Bowl, they lost like 34-10 in Jacksonville or something like that.
Well, they didn't even start the starters, if I remember right.
It was just they played horrible that game. Yeah, they did.
What? Speaking of like the preseason, I guess the preseason. Did you hear the what team was it that hasn't lost a preseason game in like 5 years? There's a team. I think it was. I want to say the Ravens, but I might be wrong.
Did you see the fight at the Rams game?
Yeah, someone threw
that woman threw that like what I saw it on Twitter. It's like what dummy throws a $10 beer,
right?
She's doing that guy. I mean, that guy got beat, but he deserved it.
Friggin' LA gets their football team back in their new stadium and already brawling. Don't worry, their dictator governor is going to come down on them.
You know, that's why I pay $150 and sit low because
they were low.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
Were they? Yeah. I sit high because I don't like sitting high. All the fights and drunk people are up high.
The video was from
above. They have more money
them.
to spend on booze.
That's right. They don't. Yeah, you buy expensive seats. You have no money for booze.
I always got drunk before the games when I'd go with my cousin and uncle.
Yeah, that works too.
The walk, they were like 2 blocks away.
At least.
That was a fun walk when you got a good buzz going on. Me and my cousin
just don't jump on a scooter.
Me and my cousin we'd be walking with our beer in our hand. Every time we walk by a cop, we'd go like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can't have open containers. That's right.
That's right. Open containers illegal, Chris.
Unless you're in New Orleans, people walk around.
I don't think the cops care because everybody was drinking.
Yeah, and they have it kind of blocked off mostly. So, I mean.
Anyways, anyone have anything else?
No.
Shower thought, Mikey?
I don't.
Shut
I'll look one
up.
up really quick. Give me 1 second.
Totally forgot.
It's okay. It's our first week back in 2 weeks after our mini vacation.
Apologies. I could probably find one. It won't take long. I follow an account on Twitter.
Seahorses have no idea regular horses exist.
I guess. Subway really just normalized eating an entire loaf of bread.
Yeah, well, it's not
only
bread.
11.5 inches though. They don't make footlongs anymore.
And it's not real tuna.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. Anyways, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. You can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, TuneIn, and iTunes. Right? That's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them. I remember. And I guess if you don't know who your nerds are, that's us, and you know where to listen to us.